Buenos días, buenas tardes, buenas noches, bonjour, bonsoir, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you may be. J. Slater Case. And here we are, we find ourselves on the eve of the Rumble on the Riviera, the big showdown that is scheduled to happen tomorrow, Father's Day. Let's see what happens. I will update you this evening, probably by community post, as we have the weigh-in and the tail of the tape. Let's see if El Slugtardo from West Wales will show up. I believe he will. There is talk on the Lord Lugworm channel that El Slugtardo is trying to do a late switcheroo, a very late switcheroo, to change the venue to West Wales instead of the Riviera. I can only imagine that this is a last minute distraction, that it isn't for real, that well, I'm taking El Slugtardo and his entourage, his training camp, at their word, that when El Slugtardo said any place, anywhere, anyone, anytime, that he meant it. For day after day after day, I've been posting the training videos for well over a week now. There was no mention of switching the venue at all. So I think this last minute must be here in West Wales. I think it's just a distraction. I think it's a distraction. I think he'll be there for the tail of the tape, the weigh-in, and he'll be there for the actual bout tomorrow. For me, no training today. It will be a light, relaxing day. Some light, nutritious food that Mrs. Smith, my guru and training camp manager, will provide. A little bit of light stretching and yeah, get psyched up for the big bout tomorrow. Now, I will be updating you most probably tomorrow on what this is all about. What boxing history do I have? Because as you might imagine, after the first video two, there was a lot of, hilarity from the accident group that this old shite is not really in any way fit to go into a ring. Is he? Well, I don't know. As the videos proceeded, I saw a lot less of this guy can't box. And in the end, it was El Slugtardo saying the whole shadow boxing thing, boxing air particles, really, doesn't prove anything. Well, except El Slugtardo, every great fighter out there does shadow boxing and boxing on the bag, on the punch bowl, sparring in the ring. It's all part of the preparation. Which makes me think, El Slugtardo, if you're not shadowboxing or doing any of the above, and you're just relying on your natural ability, whatever that may be, you might be in for a bit of a surprise. But we will see. As I say, I will comment a lot more on my boxing past, what I think is El Slugtardo's boxing past, and yeah, then we will wrap up the whole boxing chapter. But if he shows up tomorrow, we are on for bragging rights, I think, regarding accident group and foul play group. Let us turn to the issue at hand. Issue at hand, and I thank a follower for getting this article to me because, J. Slater Case, it is all about what seems to me one horrendous case of ketamine flooding Lancashire and the consequences of it. So, I will, of course, link the article in the description to this video. You can all read it at your leisure. I might not go through the whole thing right now. I just want to, read it through and throw out some opinions there concerning Debbie Duncan, Jay Slater, Brad Hargreaves, and all the rest of them. Let's get to the article. It is headlined Dramatic Moment Police Storm Lancashire Homes in Major Ketamine Crackdown. 32 people were arrested, including one suspect in his bed. Okay. It is from Lancs Live News. It is written by John McPherson, chief reporter. It is dated 19th of June, 2026. And when you get to see the main picture, you will see that it says police raiding a house in Accrington. Of course, where else could it be? And having read this article, it makes me think that, Accrington could well be the hub for this ketamine abuse and ketamine disaster. It's all very well Debbie Duncan striving for ketamine awareness, but I would ask Debbie, awareness of what exactly? Awareness of what? Awareness that it exists? I think we all know that. Awareness of how serious it is in your neighborhood? I think we're all aware of that. What might be a bit more helpful to the police, Debbie, and we'll get to that as we read the article, is awareness of who exactly supplied it to your son. Who exactly supplied it and maybe is still supplying it to Brad Hargreaves? Who in your area can you point to the police and say, this person is involved? You see, I've got a feeling that Debbie Duncan's whole I'm now striving for awareness of ketamine is just a facade to appear and pretend like she's suddenly concerned. She wasn't 2 years ago. She wasn't 18 months ago. She wasn't 1 year ago. She wasn't 6 months ago. But all of a sudden, 2 years into the Jay Slater case, and Miss Debbie Duncan is suddenly, oh, we all need to be aware of what? Well, aware of what? Ketamine. How about, Debbie Duncan, you start pointing the finger at individuals that are criminals in the ketamine network, and then we might say she's really concerned. Because I think, Debbie Duncan, you know exactly who is involved, who is possessing, who is dealing, who is selling. I think you know. But I don't think you want to go down that route. You just want to have some kind of halo above your head that says, the new Debbie Duncan, a bit of a Johnny come lately on the bandwagon of ketamine awareness, is suddenly striving for something good. Just my take. Let's read the article. This is the moment police carried out raids across Lancashire and seized zombie knives, machetes, suspected Class A drugs, cash, and phones. Yeah. So I think we can see there, it's the usual scenario up in Lancashire, where we're told, Jay was a normal lad. And I'm beginning to think, yeah, Jay was a normal lad if normality is measured by everyone else does ket, everyone else is dealing ket, everyone else possesses ket. Maybe Jay was a normal lad given the new normality that is Accrington, Oswald Twistle, Lancashire, etc., etc. I digress. Officers executed warrants in Lancaster, Blackpool, Fleetwood, Burnley, Pendle, Rossendale, Blackburn with Darwin, Hyndburn, Hinburn, Preston, Skelmersdale, and Chorley last week as part of a major crackdown on ketamine dealing. Lancashire Police said 32 people were arrested, ranging in age between 15 and 55. Now, place your bets, ladies and gentlemen, place your bets. Would one of those 32 people be someone connected to Jay Slater, Debbie Duncan, Brad Hargreaves, Rach Hargreaves? Any of their family or extended families? Do you think any one of those 32 people arrested could have any connection with the Jay Slater gang, entourage, family, extended family, friends, etc.? I mean, I'm not a betting man. Not a betting man, but if I had to, I'd put money on the table. Yeah, one of those arrests has a connection to Brad or Jay. Or Debbie. Drug paraphernalia, including scales, phones, and equipment, were recovered along with around £27,000 in cash during the operation. Officers seized significant quantities of suspected Class A, B, and C drugs, including ketamine, as well as large amounts of unidentified white powder. I wonder if someone like Brandon would know what that unidentified white powder is. Pictures and videos of the raids have now been shared by police, including footage appearing to show one man being arrested while in bed. Officers said the action was carried out as a result of community information and intelligence. Now, hats off to Debbie if she was part of that community information and intelligence. Let's say it now. If Debbie's involvement in ketamine awareness has extended to her providing information, community information and intelligence to the police, Hats off to Debbie Duncan. Again, I'm just suspecting she hasn't, but she might have. In a post on Facebook today, June 19th, a Force spokesman said, "Time is running out for your local drug dealer. Keep telling us what you know, 100% anonymously by calling Crimestoppers on 0800 555 111. I repeat, Debbie, Warren, Zach, Brad, Rach, any of the friends, Paul Curry, Saul Wilkin, Jessica Ingham, anyone out there. If you have any information or any concerns, just call Crimestoppers. You can be anonymous. Our big red key coming to a door near you. Yeah, Chief Inspector Chris Abbott said Operation Shore is Lancashire's operation to take ketamine off our streets. So, based on the information that's given to us, we can take action and get ketamine off our streets. All right, good for you, Chief Inspector Chris Abbott. I hope there is a lot of cooperation in this effort to get ket off the streets. Yeah. Please keep talking to us. The more information that you can give us, the more information we can give to get this drug off our streets. Good luck with it. Good luck with it. I think I will leave it there. Well, no, I'll give one more quote and then leave it there. One more quote from Detective Chief Superintendent Derry Corkin. My ask is for everyone with any information, however small and insignificant it might seem, to share it. Let me pause there. Ayub Kassim was the one that mentioned Brad, I think, Jay, who ran off with the cat, ran off on the cat. Jay or Brad? I think we speculated it might have been Jay, but I think he said your pal to Brandon, meaning Brad, ran off with the cat. I don't know. Was he talking about Brad or Jay? My point is, when Detective Chief Superintendent Derry Corkin says information, however small and insignificant, I would suggest you step up here and say, yeah, I know some Lancashire lads that have been on the cat, run off with the cat, and their names are, and I think they probably are connected to a network in Lancashire. It might seem to you, Ayub, small and insignificant, but Detective Chief Superintendent Derry Corkin says, we want to hear. We want to hear. Yeah. We want to do this while stopping more youngsters from damaging their health and their futures. Before the crackdown, there were 294 ketamine-related offences recorded last Lancashire over the past 3 years, with numbers rising year on year. However, the police believe the issue is underreported, and I agree with them. I believe the issue is underreported. All eyes on Lancashire, all eyes on those that we know are affected in some way or other by this ket explosion. But let's see if Debbie Duncan steps forward in, the great effort, the great push to make ketamine awareness more prevalent and out there and reported to the world. Let's see if Debbie Duncan will actually come forward to name some names and describe how it was exactly that ket, how she believes exactly ket entered the world of her son's friend, Brad. Or maybe Rach will step forward and do the same. Just how committed are these people to raising ket awareness, and awareness of what exactly? All right, let's leave it there. Rumble on the Riviera update later as we do the great weigh-in, and we can compare tail of the tape, the two adversaries that will be duking it out tomorrow. Hasta la vista, hasta luego, hasta mañana. Hasta más tarde. See you later. Adios.